What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Chop and Chat. We're your host. I am Dre, aka Yeetsilog.
And I am your big time Becky, Anil.
Okay, so we're currently post War Games, probably like a week after War Games. I personally think this is like since Mania, this is one of the best weeks of wrestling.
I think bloodline wise, I that for me, like I liked it, but not the entire card. Strangely,
Yeah.
not the entire card.
Okay, yeah. Let's
Maybe
just
I was
run it.
underwhelmed.
War Games.
Yeah, no, I before we get to the good part, like the women's, I was really underwhelmed. Outside the trash can,
There's a lot of
like,
botches.
it was really botchy too, and I was just like, I don't know, maybe because last year it was the best one, and then this year it was just. Although kudos to Naya for starting the match, I didn't imagine she would start the match. So that's a lot of stamina. So that's a hardworking champion. But I was underwhelmed outside a few chaotic spots, and like.
I mean, the trash can was crazy.
And I love that it's colored to EO.
Yeah.
So it was like, I guess it's her signature from now on. So she has to be the Undertaker of War Games, or
She's been in
else.
every one.
Yeah.
Wild.
So she needs to be the Undertaker. She needs a streak soon.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I was underwhelmed, and again, like, I don't know, I have nothing more to say about the storylines, just because it's like, I think we're just waiting for what happens next, but everyone can pretty much see what's about to happen next.
Yeah.
So that was it for the
Leading
women's
up
match.
to that, just because we're on it, why did they put Jade in that position on the car? Like, she could have been in a normal I'm dead position, but they twisted her body like she broke every bone.
I was like, she's dead. Like, this is Grey's Anatomy shit. Like, what happened? I was like, this is no.
Just let her fall normally, dude.
I was like, is she injured or is she dead? I was like, she looked dead.
Who do you think
so
it was?
weird.
Who do you think it was? Speculating.
Oh my gosh, I don't know. The thing is, like, they have so many of them that could possibly have done it.
Yeah.
A part of me really wants it to be Bianca, but again, I don't know if she's gonna do a heel thing.
But she was in a match, right?
Yeah.
So that wouldn't line up.
Could it have been Bailey? I don't know.
Naomi would be fine.
Naomi would be fine. Natalia.
Talia would be fine.
I don't know. Everyone's speculating Charlotte online, but I don't know. Could also be Asuka. I don't know. Like, again, because a lot of them, a lot of the big names are out. So I think that's probably the beauty of that storyline is since a lot of the big ones are out, it could be anybody. Yeah. So I think probably now when I'm thinking about it, it must be a calculated move that with so many of the debuts still incoming, and then with them still out, the big stars. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sad though, because I was just getting into the tag division after how many years of its So that's it. And again, yeah, I don't know. And of course, like the United States Championship Tournament, it's been so predictable. Like every single win has been so predictable. Yeah. Except I guess the Chelsea Green, but I was like, they're probably giving the internet fans a little poke. Like, this one's for you.
I would love for Chelsea to win it.
Who is she going to be up against? Like, Bianca, right? Or, like, Tiffany. So, anyway, it's like, I don't know.
She deserves
it. Unless if she wins, like, by cheating. Yeah. Which I guess I would accept if she does a really heel way to win it, and then you're just, like, chasing after her, like, she needs to lose, like, I would love that. I think a little Lay Cool, a little throwback to Lay Cool, where you just wanted them to lose every week.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's because in the IC title tournament too, it's like it's been predictable. Although of course Lyra's gonna win, and I don't know, women-wise, I'm just underwhelmed. I'm not disappointed or bored with anyone. I'm just like maybe impatient. Like, where is it?
Yeah, I think one of the things that was mentioned online was that they didn't need an IC belt.
Yeah.
Because the roster's so much smaller.
Yeah.
On whichever one, I think SmackDown has a smaller women's roster.
Yeah, I think so. But I guess because they were saying,
yeah.
But I guess because they were like, maybe both shows will be 3 hours starting next year, or something like that.
But like what they were saying, because the ratio is off, right? Because they said it's one belt for every 10 people on the roster.
Yeah.
And like with the tag team belts, that's 2 already, plus the championship, plus a mid card. So I'm really hoping and predicting once Netflix pops in, it's a 3-hour show on both sides, but they like add a lot of the NXT folk into the main roster, right? So they can start competing for real freaks.
I think that would be exciting. Although again, I'm like, at least the roster is so stacked, where I'm just like, I don't even know who's not coming. I'm just like entertained all the time. I don't know who's not coming. So
I would love like a NXT Revolution, a women's NXT Revolution, almost like an invasion into the main roster.
I think so too. I think they need a lot of like refreshing. I almost forgot Alexa Bliss is also added. Could have been her who attacked. I was like, So yeah, women's wise, that's I guess that's the summary for me. Like the past from post War Games is just and everything that's happened seems to be what's supposed to happen. At least in my opinion. So, and then the tournament seems like the winners are going to be predictable. I just have a beef with Raquel Rodriguez's booking. This is why I'm like, Hunter, I know we're not friends, but you book her as such a powerhouse and then she just sucks in the matches. Yeah. So I'm getting like a Great Khali vibe here.
Yeah, she's the woman Omos.
Right? Where it's like you book her like, she's like an enforcer and then somehow just loses all the time. Just like so I'm like, that's how they start becoming jokes. So hopefully it doesn't last long.
Yeah. I really like Dark Jedi Shinsuke.
Yeah. Yes. I was like, the Asian Undertaker, bring it, give it to me.
When he comes in and the moon is the Japanese flag. So good.
I love that. I love it. But because, I think we're both big Shinsuke fans.
And like and you know what it is, I think, is because like Shinsuke, he's so good, but they didn't know how to plate him.
Yeah.
Right? And now I think once they like started to think like how to plate him properly, whereas never make him speak English anymore. He's just fine speaking Japanese, right?
Yeah.
And okay, he has Black Mist now, and because even after the United States thing, right? Where did you see the thing where he was in the ring with the Bloodline?
Yeah.
And the Black Mist drool came.
The Black, he was there.
Because every time you see the mist, it's always like a surprise. Yeah. Right? And now he's like, okay, I have weapons that, like, I'm actually dangerous.
Yeah.
And
that's good. I was like, book him, present him like you do Asuka.
Yeah.
It works.
Really?
But there's still a clear difference. Mm-hmm. Like, I see this similarity, but I also still see the difference.
Right.
But I think this is great. Speak with how predictable the women's division has been, that United States division has been unpredictable. Yeah. Where I was like, I really didn't expect the win, although I'm very happy with what happened. Yeah. So I don't know if it's like maybe we're getting like a feud, an LA Knight, that triple threat feud with Andrade and Shinsuke. That would be really fun, I think, if they play their cards right. It reminds me of that Sheamus, Gunther, Drew era for the IC. Like, if they're gonna do something like that, I'm all for it. And then, I don't know when they're gonna push LA Knight to the moon, but
they need to just that guy's so boring. Like, I think, here's the thing, right? And it's always the same. The creative. They knew how to give him. It's interesting because we always hear about getting the pop, right?
Yeah.
But I think it's more on the creative because they put the superstars and talent in a position where they can get the pop.
Yeah.
Because if LA Knight didn't go up against Logan Paul, I don't think he would have been great.
Gotten in that one.
Right?
Yeah.
So
Although I do get his appeal because he has like this mass like appeal. I do also get the criticism. I think people say he just copies The Rock, and I see the similarities.
Yeah.
With LA Knight, but
that's the point. I
think for me, when he was starting out, that was great for me, and then I think they forgot to I was like, well, he's just been doing the same thing over and over again, and it's getting a little stale. And then I think that's why last week we were like, are face champions just boring? Because it doesn't seem like I'm invested in their journey to sort of keep the title and be the champion. I'm like, although again, I was so shocked that LA Knight lost, out of nowhere for me. I was like, what is this? But hopefully it leads to a series of great triple threats.
Look, I like how they're humanizing Gunther.
Yeah.
Because that's what he needed, Now I'm interested. But that match was whatever.
It was, me too. I don't even remember it.
Yeah. But look, what other match was there other than the men's war games?
The IC the IC title.
That's boring. Although I like Kaiser now.
Oh yeah. I see him coming into his own, and I'm like, good. At least they didn't rush to push him, and I don't think they're rushing. But yeah, the IC title match was not. I hope Ludwig wins it at some point. What else? The World Heavyweight title match.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like it's so exciting during Raw, but then when the PLE happens, it's just I don't know. I don't even remember it. Maybe I'm just tired of Judgment Day. I'm also tired that the tag champs are just like lackeys.
Yeah.
For everybody else, and they don't have a real feud going on. And I'm just like, what are they doing with the belts?
Yeah, I know. And I think
could be better off with the Viking Raiders or the Wyatt Six, and the Last Testament. Could be better. The tag titles were
they could
there.
Fight over that actually.
Right, and it would be cool. But no, it's it's still with this Judgment Day, and I'm just like, I'm getting tired of the Judgment Day.
Yeah, I think Judgment Day has lost a lot of its magic. Yeah, whatever. Okay, men's war games.
Wait, before that, the New Day. Hello,
oh my gosh, that to me is very close with the Bloodline story.
Yeah.
It can almost be better right now.
It can be,
it's better than the Bloodline for me. Because leading up to War Games, you got the backstage argument, which some of that shit cut deep.
I know. I was like, that sounds real true. I love it.
Yeah, and then I think it's also on me too because leading up to the anniversary, the WWE released, and of course it's meant to manipulate you, right? But they released these clips of them going through their greatest moments in the past. So it's the three of them.
Oh, sorry, I haven't seen the show full.
Oh no, it's not part of the show. It was internet content.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen
it's
that.
Good.
Okay.
So one of the clips is them talking to Triple H, and Triple H just admitting I didn't think this was gonna work when it came out, but you stuck to it, and I was wrong, type stuff, and I'm like, oh, that's really cool. And then they released another video, which was like a retrospective of their greatest moments, and
that I think I saw.
why
I mean, I
they
saw
hit.
posted. Yeah.
Right. And it's always interesting to me because I wasn't really watching WWE when New Day first came out. And
It was
then-
bad.
Yeah. I mean, like I wasn't even watching like Kofi Mania, right?
Yeah.
But then to hear that run, and obviously later on I got kind of educated and started watching clips, but then just to hear their kind of philosophy on it of like why they approached their characters the way they did, which is, you can be successful as a group without backstabbing or without like competing against your faction mates, right?
Yeah,
And I'm like, oh, that's like a really interesting like take on it because all the factions we've seen have always been like a kind of real implosion thing. But
yeah.
now with the they're like they got the Dom treatment yesterday.
Yeah, I know. It's like they didn't even get to talk.
Yeah, they couldn't cut, and I don't know. They just like gave up because they couldn't cut their promo. But it was.
Yeah.
But even the way they wrote them walking to
That
the
must have
locker
felt
room,
good for them. That must have felt good for them when they got to the
yeah.
back, like, yeah, we did it.
Yeah.
They're pissed. But now I think, well, then Big E's probably coming back. Why would you set it up like this? Why would you set it up this big if he's not going to be able to fight back at some point?
Yeah, I heard he's already cleared.
Right? So I was like, I have a feeling, okay, so it means he's going to be back. Because the mere fact that they said, you're never coming back,
Right.
I'm like, oh, he's coming back. He's going to, like, probably in a storyline where he pretends he can't and just,
Right.
like, demolishes them.
And you know what?
Because I do like Big E.
They played their parts well.
Yeah.
Like, to a T where, like, you left us. Like that.
Yeah.
And then,
I mean, 10 years.
yeah.
My gosh.
And then, there's that
Wow.
there's that moment where you think Xavier and Kofi are going to fight, and then they actually, like, get stronger as a duo. It's so good.
Actually like that they're a duo. So that's cool. I'm excited. At least that's something like I never thought was gonna happen. It was like probably one of the longest like factions I've ever like watched or seen that they just never got to change. But yeah, I am looking forward to that, and I guess Big E's cleared, and let's just see who he kills first.
Right. Because they've never done a heel turn.
Yeah, they've been face, so it's gonna be good. Okay, and then the men's war game.
And war games. You know what? It's crazy because first of all, it was crazy because of a number of things, but like there's so many injuries that came from that match. It's wild.
It was wild.
Like
It was.
because Bronson broke both his ankles.
Oh my god, I didn't even know that.
Yeah. Because Jimmy's out. Fucking Tonga 2 is out. Tonga Loa.
Oh, I know.
And then Bronson's out.
Shit.
Yeah. So Bronson, because
You're
he
so
did
excited for Bronson.
he did the spot, the tsunami from the top. He landed on his toe, and it cracked his ankle. So those are, I mean, his ankles are broken. And then I rewatched it, and after that spot, he didn't do anything for the rest of the match.
Oh, I didn't even know. I was.
Yeah.
The storytelling was great
Yeah.
during that match.
For sure. And then Jimmy from the top, the Uso splash. I think he just landed on his foot too, and it broke one of his ankles.
Shit.
And then Tangaloa got like a bicep injury, which is like, okay, whatever.
Okay. Sorry, no, we care, but it's just like.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, they could have pushed them individually first instead of just putting them together because I have no investment to whoever each one of them are. I just know Solo.
Yeah.
And that's it. I'm
Jacob.
and then and Jacob, and then everybody else. I'm just like, who are you? Okay, whatever. Let's go. Like, So I don't know. That's what I don't like about that. But what rather prophetic was the CM Punk thing where you were like, oh, something's gonna happen when they really need the wise man, and then I was like, oh, Dre was just talking about this, and I didn't think it was gonna come like the week right after you said that there has to be a need for Paul Heyman to return, and I was like, they immediately did it.
It's so good, so good.
That was so good. I was like, and how they seeded that. Oh, Punk is not. Punk is out for a while, so nobody expected he was gonna be the one. Yeah. And then he just comes out, and I was like, okay, this is really cool. I'm not a big CM Punk fan, but that was really cool.
Yeah, I told all my friends too. I go, I hate CM Punk, but if it's at the expense of bringing Heyman along, I'm for it.
Yeah, yeah, like,
you know what I mean?
And I guess it's like a cool feud for them, but of course we'll see, because I think this WrestleMania is setting up Roman and Rock finally. But yeah, so I think that was cool. That was a match that I enjoyed. Every single person that was about to enter, even if I didn't know the Tone guys or the Toas, whatever, yeah. I was just like, yeah, let's go. And then the Punk Roman drama, yeah, I was like, these two are so good.
Yeah, it's so good. I really like that we're getting a slower babyface turn from Roman.
Yeah,
because it's it's gradual, but you can tell now where like he's like hugging Sammy, or like he's letting Jay, when Jay comes out last in his entrance, right?
I know, I was like, cool.
Yeah.
Like, cool. Nice way to set it up, and that he's the first. It was going to start the match, too, so that was cool.
And then the, even just the Solo locking up the cage, so like, oh, the chief has to get to his like tribe. The like freaking allegorical journey of that is.
It's so good, yeah. Like,
it's all good.
Storytelling at its finest. I think that was. Then I have to say that was one of the greatest weeks for the Bloodline. One of the greatest. Like, it ended in such a high note too. Like, that's what I was excited for. So then seeing the Bloodline out just attacking everybody, I'm just like, what's going on?
Yeah, well, because also they're down a guy. They're down 2 guys, right?
So they're pissed. Michael, we didn't even talk about Cody. It's like, no love for Cody.
He's like fighting Chad Gable.
I know, that was so. I was like, here we go again. It's like when Rhea was champion and she was just facing random person after, and I was like, I think this is like a tribute to classic wrestling. But I think we're so far from that, and it just comes off as very predictable matches for the champions, And I don't know if are they nervous? Like, please don't be nervous. Please don't give us another John Cena where, the fans had to turn against him at some point.
Yeah.
So I hope I don't turn against any of these, like, biggest popping baby faces, or I should say merchandise sellers. Let's talk business here.
Yeah,
so
WWE's white savior right now, man.
So I'm just like, yes. I don't get it. At least the Kevin Owens one is, at least I was like, at least there's something, but I don't seem to be as involved.
I don't know. WrestleMania needs to get here soon so Cody can drop his down.
Who do you think you should drop it to?
I would love, personally, I would love for KO to take it from him. Even if it's like in a cheating way or like a drop it that way. Damn. I wouldn't mind a... Because here's the thing, right? Like, the main story right now for the WWE is the Bloodline story.
Yeah.
I don't think the Bloodline story needs a belt.
At this point, they don't. They still don't. They're selling out, everything.
Yeah. I mean, top 3 merch sales is Bloodline stuff. So like,
Yeah.
I don't even think
they don't need a belt. Yeah.
I think the belt should go to. Let me think. I wouldn't mind KO taking it, and then Sammy taking it from KO, but they're not gonna give Sammy that push yet. Get Drew back in there.
Bring him to SmackDown.
Yeah. I don't know. It would have to be like you know what it is? KO takes it from Cody. The Viper takes it from KO.
I would love to see another like RKO run with that belt. Like I would love to see. He deserves it. Like, and he's been like the real definition of like workhorse. Yeah. So I would love to see another Orton. I will always remember Randy Orton for his IC title run and his Legend Killer thing. That was so cool. I would never forget that. But yeah, I'd love. Yeah, I can't believe we didn't even talk about Cody. Come on, Kevin Owens, said, get out of my rental car.
Yeah, dude, Kevin Owens is doing real good promo work right now.
Yeah,
he's doing so. Even the Cody KO promo where he's in the stands, that was a great spot.
Yeah, and then. So I guess that's the sad thing with Cody. And I guess Netflix is gonna open with Punk and Rollins. Finally happy this is finally getting to happen. It's been a while. I don't know why it was a year ago that they started and then nothing has happened so far.
And then now we're in this Drew Sammy thing. Drew and Sammy. That's gonna be interesting.
That's going to be fun to see. I was like, I didn't expect it, but again, so far, I mean, in general, the new direction hasn't really been disappointing. It's just we got spoiled by so many good moments that we're like, what? That's it? Come on. Give me some more.
Right.
So that's why I think that's the main argument with Cody. It's like, it's not that he sucks. It's just that his story before that was so good.
Yeah. Because, I mean, it's 40 years in the making,
Yeah,
it's hard to beat that.
Like, what sequel do you do? Like, what,
I just thought of something crazy. But it's also very crazy. Xavier Woods finally gets a title run.
Oh my gosh. That has been long overdue for Xavier, too. I think he's the only one who hasn't won it from the New Day.
Because then there was that whole thing of them meeting in the locker room, and I'm like, oh, you can set that up so nice.
Yeah. That's true. Actually, and they've been very close. I saw an episode with them on Scare Tactics, and they were just talking about how close they are to Cody. And
they knew each other since high school, I think. Yeah, that was a thing.
Oh, that would be cool. Actually, that I would love to see that at some point. But yeah, I just hope there's something we can. Even with Gunther, I'm like, okay, I love the contrast with you being privileged and Damien having to work hard for everything. But I also just think the Judgment Day needs to go. Damien needs to do something out of Finn and Finn Jr. and just do something better.
For sure.
Sorry, we're not trashing everybody. It's just, it is a little underwhelming.
Yeah. Considering
how cool he won the title.
But also, who is it? DIY.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. I was like, finally, something to talk about with you guys.
Yeah. That's been really good.
Because, I mean, I guess the machine guns, I really, when they won, I really thought it was just Triple H saying, this is long overdue.
Yeah.
Let's give it to you now. You guys need this reign. But I knew it wasn't going to go, far. I was just you could really tell that they were setting up DIY and them to feud. And now My God, those matches are gonna be amazing.
Yeah.
Like, it's gonna be cool, and I hope they can put in Grayson and Austin, throw them in there, and
And then eventually, Street Profits.
Oh my God, they need a run.
Yeah.
They should go to Raw, and they should be the World Tag Team
Yeah,
Champions.
they should.
They should, but I guess they won't separate Bianca and Montez. But it's like they should go to Raw because that title. Those titles are just sitting there, like hot pizza.
Really?
It needs to be served because those belts look like pizza anyway.
Yeah. Those circle belts.
So, right? They look like I'm like.
And then the
every time I
SmackDown
see
ones
it.
look like the WCW championship.
Like the old school ones, yeah.
They look like the Goldberg belt.
Oh my God, Goldberg. But yeah, so that's been it for me. I've been doing Raw, 2000. I've been doing a throwback. I'm in April now. I'm loving Stephanie McMahon. I don't have any idea why she's the women's champion and why they made her the women's champion when they had Ivory, Jacqueline, and Tori, like actual wrestlers.
Wow.
But it was great. I love Stephanie.
Yeah, I've been watching. I just watched the PLEs. So
Yeah.
and I started in '93 when I started, and now I'm at like 2001.
Oh, cool. No, because the thing with the PLEs, Raw 98 to 2000, the Raws are so much better than the pay-per-views. Because if you notice, they don't close the story on a pay-per-view. The pay-per-view always ends on a cliffhanger because they want you to watch Raw. That's why I was like, those days I remember Raw was happening. Like there were title changes at Raw, like big storylines, and then the pay-per-views were just like the matches where they use it to tell the story, and then no real resolution happened.
I mean, the reason why I'm watching just the PLEs, obviously for time, but also because they always show the lead up to the match.
They do.
So,
They have the summary. You're right.
Yeah.
They summarize the whole thing, and with the whole Stone Cold has gone in the old school way.
And then I was like
Stone
watching. Oh yeah, will they do it or will they not? Right. But I was watching old like PLE stuff, and the Attitude Era is so crazy, where like, that's right, they did hit people with cars.
They did.
They did
right?
run
It
over
was-
people, and then because I remember watching that as like a kid, and I was like, oh, that's just TV, and then the whole like, who ran over Stone Cold, and I'm like, it was Rikishi. Like, what a random fucking
I know. Oh my God, Rikishi ran over Stone.
God.
I love that Rikishi got that kind of push, though.
Yeah.
I never imagined they would give it something like that.
Yeah.
So to feud with Austin, I haven't seen that. I actually haven't seen Raw from 2001 because I was growing up in the Philippines and they just stopped.
didn't have it, yeah.
So that's why I'm like, I want to do it from 2000, recall everything, and see everything from now a very different. I'm in my 30s. And I'm like, I can't believe I was watching this as a child.
Yeah.
Like, how was I getting away with it?
Dude, the like, what was it? Who was that? Someone went on a date with someone, and like, oh, he was married. Oh, it was like Dean Malenko or some shit.
Oh,
And he like went on a date with some star, and they're like, oh, it was with Lita. And
okay.
he's like, aren't you
yeah.
married? And he's like, so what? Like, and I'm like, what the fuck, dude? The like poster child for infidelity is like,
And Lolita, she's not even Hispanic.
yeah,
She was booked as like because she was like a luchador, and now they were like, okay, so you're Lita, and you're gonna come out with S.A. Rios, and you guys are gonna be this. So I'm there now. I'm like, it's S.A. Rios, Lita versus Eddie and China.
Uh-huh.
I'm just like, you have Lita, and she's not the women's champion, but I guess I remember she's gonna win it sometime this year, and then she and Trish will play a big role, and Stephanie, and they're all gonna be like, it's gonna be cool. But I was just like, man, this 2000s, and Trish Stratus shooting like softcore porn, like, Bubba, I love a hard table. I'm like,
I'm like, dude, I'm not sure what year all this shit is because it's all a blur. But like, Bubba Dudley fucking targeting women and putting them through tables.
Mae Young, he put a grandma through a table.
And I'm like,
was like,
this is fucking wild because Bubba Ray is such a big guy.
it's so crazy. I was really like, I'm there. I'm watching that, and I'm in like, I just finished his like putting women through tables phase, and I was like, shit. Like when Jeff Jarrett also started assaulting women because he had a feud with China.
Hitting them with guitars and shit. Like, okay, look, I get how times were different back then, and like wrestling, okay, you would like objectify women because they're like sexy, and like I understand because I lived through that version, but like going back and watching like, oh, y'all were like violent against women also is crazy to me.
It's really, and that's why I'm like, okay, I don't want to get any political or whatever. I was just like, but the same people who watch this think queer content is extreme. Yeah. I'm like, what? Like, Mae Young is 7 years old, and Bubba Ray Dudley freaking smacks her and puts her through a table. You know what? And she like strips.
You know what stuck with me too is like, I remember, I think it was Sami Zayn. He like handcuffed some guy's like ear to the cage, and I'm like, how is this okay? Like, you know what I'm talking about? I think it was like,
no.
It was either like an I Quit match or like a cage match, but someone had gauges. You know, they're
oh
like,
my gosh. Yeah.
Someone put a handcuff thing through some guy's ear. And I'm like, how is this allowed anywhere?
I love that. That's Shudder content. That's horror movie killing. Like, but yeah, so it's been fun. That's what I've been doing after work, just watching the Attitude Era. But yeah, I guess that wraps up our whole like a little underwhelmed like podcast, but it's also the holidays. I don't think they do anything really crazy.
Saturday night,
a lot of the episodes are going to be taped. Oh, I'm excited. At least that's coming this weekend. So we had something to talk about.
Yeah, and they're also like just revving up for the Netflix show, I think.
True.
And then I'm sure we'll have longer episodes to watch, but also to put out because we're going to be talking about a lot more stuff. Yeah, before we end this episode, let's do our 3 count for the week. I'm going to go, unless you have one at the top of your head. I know I always ask you.
No.
Cool.
No.
I'll just keep coming up with them. Who is your top 3? Let me think now. Which ones did we already do? I know we did an icy one. We did a finishing move one.
We did Asian wrestlers.
Who? Oh, this is a fun one. What are your top 3, like tagline, like yeah, like
the
tagline.
catchphrases?
Catchphrases. There you go.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. The first thing I think about is always Bret Hart. The best there is,
Oh, yeah.
the best there was, the best there
Yeah,
ever will be. I think that's like
great.
really cool. What Undertaker, rest in peace. So they're all classics. A recent one. Oh, then I have to go Acknowledge Me.
Acknowledge Me is so great.
Yeah, I have to do it. That's so good. But I also have to shout out, of course, Do You Smell
What the
Rock is cooking?
Yeah.
I think that's. Oh yeah, all of them used to have these catchphrases.
Yeah. I think, okay, so for mine, I love the whole Road Dogg intro.
Oh, you did?
The whole thing. And it was so
Yeah.
long. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, shit, like,
Yeah.
the whole thing.
He was like a host every time he
did it
entered.
every single night, and it was like, oh, okay, that's props. I'm saving the last one because it's so weird, so I got to come up with one more. I really, as much as I love Yeet, I'm not gonna pick that. I'm gonna go with Whoop That Trick because it's so like hood. But like,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna go with the Road Dogg
It's
thing.
really
I'm gonna go
catchy.
with Whoop That Trick, and then I'm gonna go with Alpha Academy Chad Gable, where he's like, "Shoosh."
Oh my god.
That's so. And where he's like, "Thank you." That's so good to me.
That's true. Those are fine. Yeah. Oh my god. I've just been watching Road Dogs. So that's true. That's cool.
Yeah, and then there's that
Yeah.
like weird moment where like, is Billy Gunn part of DX or is he not? But like he keeps teaming up with DX people.
The one Billy Gunn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? Yes too. I forgot. Yes.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool too. Yeah, that's it for us this week. Hopefully, once the Netflix thing, I hope it's much more exciting. I can't wait.
Yeah, that's been the episode for this week on Chop and Chat. Until next time, we're your hosts. I'm Dre, aka.
I'm Big Time Beki. Oh, sorry, you go first.
Go ahead. I'm Dre, aka Yeetsilog.
I'm Anil, aka your Big Time Beki. And yeah, this has been our Chop and Chat.
See you next week. Bye.
Bye.